Hey, what's up guys? Mortarman here from the Next Gamer Network. Back again with another video commentary, so sit back and relax while I dazzle you with my amazing commentary. I want to welcome you to episode number 7 of Army Stories. The title is Mass Punishment is a Bitch. So yeah, exactly what the title implies. This is the very first time that I was introduced to mass punishment in the Army on a big scale. This takes place during basic training. I believe that this was probably around week 3 or week 4, which is basically right in the middle of basic training. Probably the hardest part of the training, because when you first get there it's kind of like shock and awe. They're screaming and yelling at you the whole entire time you're there, but after you've been there for a couple of weeks, you've kind of had time to adjust to Army life and acclimate yourself to what it's going to be like during basic training. But it doesn't really let up until maybe week 7 or week 8, because you're preparing to end basic training and move on to your infantry school training or your advanced individual training, depending on what your MOS is going to be and whatnot. So anyway, this takes place during week 3 or week 4, and there's a thing called KP duty in basic training. It's a rotation, and every soldier has a chance. Well, I wouldn't really call it a chance. It's not exactly an opportunity. Every soldier will be forced to do KP duty during basic training. Because the kitchen, where everyone eats, the mess hall, is ran by soldiers, for the soldiers. And that mess hall feeds the entire battalion of soldiers there at basic training, which is about 500 soldiers, give or take, depending on how big the classes are for that particular basic training class. So anyway, we're in week 3 or week 4, and when we first got there, you know, the drill sergeants will tell you, okay, when you guys go into the mess hall, there's going to be a whole shitload of food in there, and you're going to go down the line, and they show you exactly what they want you to do when you go in there, and you have to behave a certain way. They don't want you talking or, you know, ass grabbing or anything like that while you're going through the mess hall to get food. Your priority is to eat and get the fuck out as quickly as possible, and they time you. They give you a certain amount of time to get in there and get done and get out. And there's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of food in there, right? I mean, if it's breakfast, there's all types of sweets, there's cereal, there's cookies, there's donuts, there's cake, and there's plenty of junk food in there, as well as healthy, nutritious meals. And the reason that all of that stuff is in there, because you're probably asking yourself right now, well, why in the fuck would they have donuts and cookies and shit like that in there for, you know, basic training? But like I said before, in the mess hall, they feed everyone there, the whole entire battalion. So that's officers, that's higher up, NCOs, you know, everyone eats in there, not just the basic trainees. So when you go through the line, all of that food there is available to you, but your drill sergeant will tell you, as he told us, what we could and could not put on our tray. He said, when you go through the line, these are the items that you can have, and these are the items that you cannot have. And they basically said you can't be having any sweets. They don't want you having like the really good cereal for breakfast, you know, like, I don't know what an example would be. Like if you liked Cocoa Puffs or, you know, or Rice Krispies or something like that, you know, or strawberry cornflakes or some shit. They don't want you having that. All they want you to have is like bran flakes or raisin bran or something that's real nutritious. And they wouldn't let us have sugar on our tables, you know, to add sugar to our food or sugar to our oatmeal, things like that. And then during lunch, the same thing. They don't want you having a piece of cake. You can only have the basic food groups, but they don't want you having the dairy products or the donuts or cookies or any of that shit, right? So anyway, let's cut to the chase. How this came about was, when you're doing KP duty, you're in the back of the kitchen, and you're basically not under strict, tight supervision like you normally are when you're out with the drill sergeants and all that. So you're back there with other soldiers, and you're preparing food, no matter what your job. You know, you could be washing dishes or preparing food or something like that, but your KP shift will last that entire time, you know, whether it be lunch, breakfast, lunch, or dinner. You're in there doing your KP duty, and it will last even after the meal is over, because you've got to clean up. Somebody's got to clean up all that shit and wash all the dishes, take out the trash and all that stuff. So anyway, so you don't have a lot of supervision in there, so you have an opportunity to eat some junk food while you're back there if you so dare. And so there was some guy, like, I did my KP duty. I didn't cheat. I didn't eat anything I was not supposed to eat, even though I was surrounded by all this food, because I knew if I got caught, I was going to have hell to pay. And so apparently a couple of guys, while they were doing their KP duty, they decided to take it upon themselves to, one guy ate some donuts and some cake, and one guy ate some cereal that he wasn't supposed to have. But this was unbeknownst to us whatsoever. None of us knew any of that happened. And one day, when the training day was over, it was getting close to lights out. It was like around, I don't know, 7 or 8 o'clock or something like that. The training day was over. We're already back at the company area in our barracks and everything. And the drill sergeant comes in and says, "I need all you motherfuckers out in formation now. Go." And so we all, you know, run out and get in formation, and it's a company formation. All of the platoons were out there: Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, and Foxtrot. 6 platoons are all out there lined up in formation. And the first sergeant is on his little podium thing out in front of us, and he starts talking, you know. And at first it sounds kind of casual, like, you know, nothing really big, like it's more of an announcement of some kind. Like he's gonna do some kind of announcement. We're gonna go back into the barracks and get ready for bed and lights out and get ready for tomorrow. Well, then he decides that he wants to call up these 2 different privates, you know, to come up there front and center. And so they get up there, and each of them are standing on, you know, one of them standing on each side of him. He's like, "All right, I want to take just a few minutes to give a round of applause to Private so-and-so and Private so-and-so," and everybody claps, you know, whatever. It's kind of, at this point, we still don't really know what the fuck is going on. And so he's like, "Okay, it's come to my attention that Private so-and-so and Private so-and-so took it upon themselves to treat themselves to some sweets and snacks during KP duty. And so basically what this means is that all you motherfuckers are going to pay for those donuts and the cake and the cereal together." And so we're like, "Oh shit, what's going to happen?" You know, we're like, what is he going to do to us? So he commences to telling us, "All right, this is what's going to happen. All you motherfuckers are going to go in your barracks. You're going to get everything that you own, everything that's been issued to you, in your rucksack and your duffel bag. You're going to take your mattresses, your blanket, and your sheets, and your pillow, everything out of the barracks. I want you to pile up all your mattresses outside on the ground, all your sheets and blankets and pillows in another pile, and you're going to be back here in formation." And it was like some ridiculous amount of time. It was like 5 minutes. He wanted everybody out there back in formation with their gear, everything they owned, out of the barracks in 5 minutes. And if you've ever been in the military, you're very familiar with these ridiculous amounts of time that they give you to do these things. Like they'll say, you know, like, "I need you to do this. You've got 30 seconds. Go." You know, or something like that. But it's not that they're not really focused so much on the amount of time that they give you. They just want to see you die trying. You know, so what it does is it trains you over a period of time. Those amounts of time that they give you to do these chores or these goals becomes more realistic later, because you do realize eventually you can get it done if you really try. So anyway, it gives us like 5 minutes to go in, get all of our shit, get back out to formation. And so what he ends up doing is marching the whole entire company up these big long stairs behind us, like stadium stairs, to go up to the PT field. And the PT field is a big ass clump of trees surrounded by a 1 mile dirt track. and that's where we do our running and jogging for PT test or physical training test. Because we normally run like out on the road or on the pavement or through the trails and the woods and stuff, but that PT track is there so that we can train it all in one area at a time. So anyway, he marches us. I've got a rucksack on my stomach. You normally wear a rucksack on your back, but on my back is like a 75-pound duffel bag full of all my shit, and then I've got a rucksack turned around on my chest, because that's the only way you can carry them both at the same time. And so they march us all up this, I would say it's about 100 feet tall hill. I could be exaggerating. Maybe it's only 50 feet, but it's a big-ass set of stairs, stadium stairs that go up this hill. They're really steep, and the steps are like over 1.5 feet tall. They're really big steps. And so they're a challenge just to walk up without without carrying anything, much less all this gear. So he marches us up the stadium steps onto the PT field and puts us in formation up there, and they proceed to smoke our asses for like 3 or 4 fucking hours straight. And when I say smoke, that means physically exhaust you. It's a military slang for doing physical training or physical exercises. They made us do things like jumping jacks and push-ups and set-ups, little man in the woods, crab walk, wheelbarrows, just about anything you could think of for PT training. It's really exhausting, and the drill sergeants are really, really good at their jobs, if you know what I mean. They're really good at fucking you up when they need to. And so this was the punishment. Everybody was going to do this, and we were going to do it 5 nights in a row to pay him back, to pay the first sergeant back for the cereal, the cookies, and the donuts, and the cake, or whatever the fuck those dudes ate. And so this was his way of punishing us. And so we did this for 3 nights in a row. So at that point, we had done it for 3 nights in a row. And I mean, not only did we have to get all of our shit out of the barracks and out into formation every night after the duty day was over. The duty day refers to our training day. So after you've done all of your work, and you've been running and jogging and doing all kinds of physical training all day long, and you're exhausted, then they want you out in formation, everything out of your barracks, your mattresses, your blankets, your pillows, and all that shit out on the ground every single night for 5 nights. So we had done this a total of 3 nights at this point, and motherfuckers are getting injured. Like, they're spraining ankles, blowing out knees, all sorts of injury, back injuries and things like that, because they're carrying all this weight up those stairs, and then they're making us do things with that gear while we're up there. Like, they have you lifting your duffel bag up over your head, doing relay races with them, just as much strenuous exercise as they can pile onto you in the matter of anywhere from 2 to 4 hours. Then when we're done, they march us back down those big ass steps back into the barracks. We have to take all of our gear out of our duffel bags and our rucksacks, place it all back in our lockers nice and neat, and in our foot lockers nice and neat, inspection ready. Take our mattresses, our blankets, and our sheets and pillows back in, and put our bunks back together like they're supposed to be. And then whoever the lucky motherfuckers are that have to do guard duty have to start their guard duty. That's of course after we've all had our showers. But and granted, during basic training we get up at like 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning. So you can imagine this not only exhausts us physically, but it also takes away from the sleep that we need for the next day of training. So it physically and mentally exhausts everyone. So after the 3rd night of doing this, the sergeant major, our sergeant major, found out about it. I guess he did not know what the first sergeant had us doing, and several of the several of the soldiers that had been injured during this punishment had been taken to the medic station, to see the medic to get their knees wrapped. I think a couple of guys even got injured so much that they had to be recycled, which means that they had to start basic training all over again because of their injury due to the first sergeant punishing us. So once the sergeant major found out about what was going on, Well, he put an end to it. He's like, no more. We can't afford to have soldiers getting injured doing some bullshit when they have training to do and they need to graduate from basic training and move on to their units. We can't afford to be injuring soldiers for some bullshit like that. So he put a stop to it. And we were all thankful, because after 3 nights, and we still had 2 more nights to go of this crap, you know, it was bullshit. But, you know, we had it coming. I mean, those 2 guys knew when they went to KP duty that they were not allowed to have that food, but they chose to do it anyway. And so because of their actions, they caused us all a lot of pain and suffering, and that, my friends, is mass punishment. And that's what it's like, as you know, to have mass punishment in the military. So, yeah, this is something that will always be in my mind for the rest of my life. It's definitely something I'll never forget. And you know, if I haven't mentioned it before, basic training was a miserable time, but it was also a lot of fun. I really did enjoy it. I have a lot of fond memories from it. In fact, most of my fond memories come from basic training. So if any of you guys are out there and you're thinking about joining the military and serving your country, whatever country that may be, I highly advise doing it. I think it will be a great experience for you. I think it will make you a better man, and it will build character. And so I highly recommend it. You know, it's not for everyone. It's certainly not, but I certainly don't have any regrets with my military. I really did enjoy it. It was a great experience, and it's definitely something that money can't buy. You know, it's really something else. I enjoyed it, and I take a lot of pride in it, and you know, I'm really appreciate all the men and women out there who serve in their country today. My hat's off to you. So anyway, guys, if you're still watching after 17 minutes of listening to me ramble, I want to thank you for watching the video. I want to thank you for following the Army series. I still have more episodes to go. I'm not done yet. So we'll see how it goes. I definitely have at least a few more Army stories to tell you guys. And so, like I said, I definitely want to thank you for watching the video. Thank you for following the series. This is Mortarman with the Next Gamer Network. As always, guys, have a great day, and we'll see you later. Peace out.
A hostile tank has been spotted in the area. Proceed with caution. Hostile tank spotted in your area. Proceed with caution.